You are muted, Jean-Philippe.
Do you see the presentation?
Yes.
So I will try to cover the following point. So some are in line with the previous one. So the first point is where to find information about mapping within the IOF website, say official information. Then I will cover what we call map control by the Map Commissions, which is a pure technical control. So just making a point on what happens in 23 and what will happen for the 2 coming years. We will have some words about small change within the specification, both for item and ISPRON. And then I will finish on printing paper and plastic bags, some recommendation by the Map Commission. So where to find mapping information? So as previously told, you have some Map Commission pages within the IOF. If you go to the IOF page inside IOF, then you have a mapping section. And within this mapping section, there are finally 3 parts. On the mapping, you will have all the specification, and I agree that on the bottom of this page, you have information on map printing and information on other mapping tasks like the control process and the Event Advisor checklist, which this document is a document which was written both by the Rules Commission and the Map Commission. So perhaps it could be a good idea to move that map printing and other mapping related document more on the top of the page, perhaps having the translation of the specification below, because the translation of the specification are non-official documents that they are provided by each country, but we are not checking them. The next part of the mapping page is the one relating to the Map Commission, and you will find on this page all the minutes of the meetings. So if you want to have an eye on what we are doing, don't hesitate to have a look at the minutes. That's most important for the main event advisor. You have the mail address of all the members, and for the map check, they will be in charge of checking the maps. So you can have their mail address there on the IOF mapping section. The last part is the wiki. We have launched, I think, 2 years ago, a wiki, which is intended to help mappers to understand the specification. So there is a large part which is related to map symbols with good examples, bad examples of use of the symbols. But we will also put on these wiki pages more tutorials, and specifically the ones which are related to printing, how to prepare the maps for printing. They will be, I think, beginning of next year on the OMAP wiki. So the second part is the map control for the main IOF event. So just to remind that it was an IOF council decision to have to ask the organizer of main event to have their maps checked by the map commissions. So how are we able to do that? We are not going on the field, so we are not able to say that the map is the correct representation of the field. So it's clear. So we are just trying to look if the drawing of the map is in line with the specification, which means that within the specification, there is not only a symbol description, there are a lot of information related to minimum size of the object on the map. So a cliff shall be at least that long. And also regarding the size of the surface, a vegetation spot shall be at least that big. So, and we are using the OCAD solution to do that. It's clear that generally we have thousands of errors coming back from that. The main goal is not to have a map with zero error at all. I think we have to focus on the main error, the really too small spot surfaces, too small lines. And I think it's a compromise we have to make with the mappers on that. But I think there are some rules within the specification, and we have to check them. We have also to check the fact that the mapper is using the right symbols, not changing the dimensions of the symbol, and the right color. And we are also making a check of the use of foam lines. And from that, we are making a report which is sent back to the organizers. Sometimes it's also copied to the event advisor, but I'm not sure of that. So control is both performed by member of the map commission, and within the map commission, we are not all professional mappers, but I think we know quite correctly the map specification to do that. And one important point is the fact that the map files must be sent for review no later than 6 months before the event. I think this time is required to allow us to provide a feedback and to then give enough time to the organizer to correct the maps. So for 2023, we received the maps for all events except for the World Cup 3 in Italy. We have received no maps at all for Italy. We are not claiming for the maps. Our position is the fact that it's a request from IOF, so we are waiting the organizer to do that. We are not chasing the maps. From the reports, one general disappointing for us is the fact that we are sending the reports, but we have no feedback at all on what happens after. The only feedback we may have is by receiving the printed maps after the events, but we even don't know if all the reports have been read or if some change have been made to the maps. So I think it's one of the issues we have presently with this technical control of the map by the Map Commission. So I was just telling for 24, you have here the tables of all the main events with the name of the Map Commission member in charge of controlling the maps. I just want to draw your attention on the fact that some events like World Cup 1 and World Cup 2 are in the first part of the year as AOC and well, GWOC is perhaps second part of the year, but the first three presently regarding World Cup 1, I am in charge of that, and I have not received any maps to check. So it's, and I think it's the same thing for AOC. And you have also here the name of the member of the Map Commission in charge of some of the 25 main IOF events. So don't hesitate to enter in contact with them if you want some advice prior to mapping from the Map Commission. So the third part is relating to the map specification. So map specification is something which is continuously reviewed by the Map Commission based on feedback from the organization or from the National Map Commission. So, and at the end of each specification, you have a list of all the changes made from the first revision of the map specification. And here you have the list of the one for ISOM. And if you go through that, you can see that the main changes, or a large number of the changes, are just related to the graphic representation. We are not introducing many new symbols. I think that for IDOM, the only new symbol is the retain word, which was introduced in January 22. All the other are just the fact that we are changing the width of a line or changing the minimum dimensions based on the feedback we have from the organizer or from the National Maps Commissions. So we are planning to introduce new symbols in IDOM and ISPROM. So the retain earthward I've already mentioned, and from the Swedish Map Commission to have such a symbol, which is quite the same one as the retain wall. The retain wall is in black, and the retain earthward is using the brown color. And the second new symbol is a symbol which was requested by the Australian Federation due to gold mining pits, which are very dangerous. So they were claiming that the present pit was not visible enough. So we decided to introduce a dangerous pit, which after some print test is really visible even in vegetation. And also we are trying to improve some explanation. So regarding out-of-band area, we are just clearly stating the fact that if some path is allowed to run on with across outbound, it shall be drawn with an overlap of white on both sides of the trail. There are also one other new symbols which is introduced. It was a request from some mappers from Norway. So on ice prone, so we are also having the retained earth wall the same as ISOM, but there are some area, paved area on which you have many obstacles, like bicycle racks, a very large number of bicycle racks, or playgrounds. So we are proposing to introduce symbols for providing information for the runner in sprint that such area, perhaps they will have to slow down due to obstacles. So it's, I think it provides more information. It will help the runner in their route choice. And as there was a new control description regarding the flip of the maps, we are proposing to introduce a new symbol, making clear the second start or the start after the map flip, and it's clear that map exchange shall only be at the control point. So, and also same explanation regarding the fact that the outbound area shall be discontinued where a path goes through. Last part of my presentation is related to printing, paper and plastic bags. We have been asked to provide more information regarding paper and plastic bags. So it will be done within this printing and color definition document, which previously was the Appendix 1 of ISON, but now it's a separate document. So information is here for offset printing. So you have to use a coated paper, 100 to 120 grams per square meter. And for laser printing, you can use a paper 100 to 110 grams per square meter. If you print the map on normal paper, you must use a plastic bag and it must be sealed. And we know that the plastic bag shall be of good quality, so we are recommending having a thickness of minimum 0.07 millimeter. And we are also providing some information on the plastic paper, which may be found on the market. It's clear that Pretex shall not be used. It's not plastic paper. So we have tested some brands, Teslin, Yupo, and Entus. But depending on the country in which you are living, perhaps the same paper are sold with different brand. So you have to check. Regarding the printing process itself, it's clear that the printing certification process is an unsolved issue, as told by the previous speaker. Even it was a IOF Council request, it doesn't work as expected. We know that even a certified printing company may face technical problem. It was the case for jackets this year. The offset printer machine faced technical failure, so they were unable to produce good offset printing. The second point was the fact that certification was planned to have only a 2 years valid period. It's too short. And we also know that many organizers, they make their best effort to get rid of that. So we have to find a new solution. It's clear that presently we have made no decision on that. We want to discuss that with the Photo Commission at the next joint meeting. That our clear position is the fact that the only reference shall be the printed sheet. We have printed 10,000 of printed sheets. IOF has sent 100 of them to each federation. I don't know where in each federation, but I'm quite sure that every federation has thousands of printed sheets. I know within the French Federation where it is, but so it's clearly the reference for you, and you shall ask your printing company to print a file, and you have to check it and to compare it with the one that the IOF has sent to your federation. Last point is the point related to the tutorial on how to prepare a file for printing. We think it's very important for sprint maps, because many sprint maps are printed on laser by a local printer. So last year, I think that Christer has presented a video for a forest map, on how to print forest map. And so the same one will be on the wiki for the sprint maps. What has to be clear that all the first steps which are here are the same for forest and for sprint maps, which has you have to remove the background maps and then remove the unused color from the color setting file. You have to optimize your color setting file. Then you have to make the same thing for the map files. Remove the unused symbols, remove the unused color, optimize. And then with these two optimized files, you can reopen the files. What is different for ICE-PROM is the fact that for ICE-PROM, you have to check that the lower purple is under the black and the green point object. You can see here the control, which is a lower purple, is you can see the black line here, which is not the case for the forbidden area here. You cannot see black lines. Forbidden area are upper purple, it's above all color, but lower purple for the controls, they shall be below the black and below the white point color. And it's due to the fact that if you look at this table, which is within the color appendix, you can see that there is a difference between ISOM and ISPROM. For ISOM, there are many colors above the lower purple, the blue, the green, the brown, the blue for point symbols, the blue for line symbols. But it's not the case for ISPROM. For ISPROM, the lower purple the lower purple is below the green point symbol and below the black 100%. So it's one point for which I think the video will help every organizer to prepare correctly their files for printing. Thanks for your attention.
Thanks, Jean-Philippe, for your presentation. It was very interesting. Some of the things that even I didn't know beforehand about the differences between ISOM and ISPROM. Going back to Gunther's question there about the minimum OCAD checking and so forth, did you have any response from that?
It's clear that for us, you have to use it, and then you have to make decision to treat the most important failure or you find. For instance, there are some minimum dimensions for green areas. If you have green area which are twice smaller than the minimum size, you have to correct. If it's within 10%, perhaps it's useful to not to make any change. So I think the tool is useful. Then the use of the tool is something on which you need to apply your intelligence.
Okay, then we have another question from Kel.
Yes, thank you. I can assure you, by the way, that the report from the Map Commission is used. At least it was when we made JWOC in 2019. So it's not in vain. But I do have a question regarding you're checking that the technical check of the maps you make with your OCAD. What do you do if it's not an OCAD made map? I think that could be big work. And then I have a request: is that not making too many breaking changes in the specifications too often. I think we have seen a lot of different versions of the ISOM and especially ISPROM specifications for the last 3-4 years. So please calm down.
So the first question was related to how are we able to work with a map which is not an OCAD file. It's clear that it makes checking more difficult. The way I'm working, I don't know how the other Map Commission members are working, is the fact that I'm creating symbols, specific symbols or specific images, which are with the minimum dimensions. And I try to apply them on the place where, by a general look, I think there are some errors. But it's clearly a very difficult task. And regarding the change in the specification, I agree with you. There have been many changes, but I think that it's as we have been changing the specification massively, there has been some feedback, and we are trying to take into consideration the feedback. But I think things will stabilize in the.
Okay, thanks, Jean-Philippe. Then we have a question or comment from Ivar. Go ahead, please.
Thank you. Thanks for the presentation. Regarding the technical check, I think that a good thing is to ask the mapper to do that as a self-test, because then the mappers, if they are not aware of what kind of implications their drawing style, so to say, have or how they follow, I think it's very nice or very fruitful to urge the mapper to do that self-test before we send the maps to the Map Commission. I think my experience is that then it will be a much better result for sure for the control itself, and also have kind of an educational effect on the mappers. And also to follow up what Kel was commenting, I think it's could be a lot of frustration among the course setter, the mappers and the organizers with late changes of the map rules close to their competition. So for sure, it's very nice to update the map standard or the map rules, but might be that could be an official update once or twice a year, so it's according to the rules of 1st of January that you plan the maps and the courses for the following year or something. It at least advice from me that this should be thought of in IOF. Thank you.
Okay, I agree with the fact that theoretically, I think the mappers shall use the automatic verification tools provided by OCAD. It's a good advice to push to them. But generally we don't have any direct contact with the mappers. We have contact with the organizer, but never with the mappers themselves. So I think that we can recommend to the organizer to ask the mappers to use the automatic check tools. For the change in specification, we try always to publish them with a one year in advance regarding their application time.
Okay, then we have Guntar's again. Please go ahead.
Very short question. In the presentation of Jean-Philippe, I saw the nice list of the Map Commission, let's say, calendar for the checking of some upcoming photo events. But does the Map Commission is also ready and has the resources to check other discipline maps, like, for example, SKIO or MTBO? And do they have such experience earlier on those map checks? Thank you.
So, checking of council decision was not related only to photo. It was related to all main IOF events. So we had a planning for both for MTBO for 23. In 23, on all the MTBO events, we have received only one event map, and among these maps, only one map was correct, and the other ones were using wrong symbols size. So we will discuss the subject with the MTBO Commission at the joint meeting. I think both commissions are willing to have such a control of MTBO maps for main IOF events done. For SKIO in the past, we add some controls that last year it has not been the case.
Okay, thanks, Jean-Philippe. I don't see any other. Oh, sorry. I think there is. Oh, Stefano, hi. Go ahead. You're muted.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, let's go.
You know that I'm not very fond of plastics in general, but should I choose between a plastic map, a map printed on plastics material, and a paper map within a plastic bag? I will surely choose the former. Because plastic maps are usually collected by the runners and do not enter the environment. Whether a bag is usually, almost certainly used just once and then thrown away, or just, let's hope it's not just thrown away in the forest. So I think it's not just a comment, a reflection, not, of course, a demand, but I think it should be considered. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Stefano. And now I don't see anybody else, so back to you, Aaron.
Yeah, let's take a last question by Kel.
Yes.
Sorry, I missed that.
Thank you. I was just raising as what you were handing back to Aaron. Well, regarding the certified printing houses, I understand that you are looking at another solution. Can you elaborate on that? Because I can understand that the organizers are not happy with the certification process as it is.
Yeah, actually, I'm not an expert in this. I'm not sure if János Manarin from Photo Commission is here with us at the moment, or he can speak a bit, or probably if Helge can tell a few words about this.
Oh, I can see János is present, so if János, you have the chance to join, that's very fine.
I'm not sure if János is in the position to talk, Helge.
No, but I think we will need to get back to this after we have had further talks, as Jean-Philippe mentioned, with the Map Commission and the other commissions. So we will have to get back to this after these discussions.
Okay, so sorry, Kel. No answer this time. Okay. Yeah, János?
Yeah, I'm here. Just a problem with connection. I don't know if I can answer right now to the question of Kel, because we still have to discuss in details with the Map Commission. We only started, but I think that some ideas can be to move more to the senior event advisor, the checking, and from some expert too. But I really don't want to tell my ideas right now, because maybe it's only my ideas and not everybody agrees on this. It's not so easy, as we have seen that how to certificate the maps, or that we are sure that a certificated printer shop can produce always a good map. So I think that the solution can be to have some experts doing this, and most of all, it's spring the problem, because you have the checking just days before the competition, if not hours before going to print, and then you are not always sure that you don't have to print on a different printing shop close to the events, while the certificated printer shop is far away. Maybe you have only one in your country, or maybe you plan to print in another country, but then you have to check the maps the day before the competition and go to print close to the event. So I think it's I think any suggestions can be good to have it, but it's not easy to find the right solution that help everybody in the same way. As we have seen, also the Map Commission is asking to have the maps 6 months before, and not always it's easy to send them the maps 6 months before the competition. So much more when you have to print close to the event. I don't know if I have answered the question.
Yeah, so for Kel, it's we are in the beginning of the process right now, and it's not yet decided. We try to get closer to a solution in January, actually. Okay, but thank you for your answer, János, and especially thank you, Jean-Philippe, for your presentation, for your time. And I personally hope that the Map Commission can do a presentation next year also in this Event Advisor seminar, because for me this is a very valuable venue for you to meet the event advisors. So thank you, Jean-Philippe.